All right. Hi, Megan Ross here, Avid Connect 2018. I'm standing next to
Steve Audette from FRONTLINE.
We're very excited to talk about documentary editing.
Yep.
So,
I just gave a session about it, and it was pretty exciting to see all the people in the room. Lots of editors from all over the country, all over the world, really. And they seem pretty interested in the idea that there's a new sort of resurgence in narrative storytelling within the documentary form. And I tried to show some of the tips and techniques that I do to keep that interest level exciting and interesting and make sure people watch documentary.
So have you always been interested in this type of editing? Because this is very different. I mean,
Yeah.
What drew you to this?
It's ironic because I used to be a special effects artist, and someone came to me and said, I want to make a, at the time, MTV documentary with a little more flash, and I don't want it to be boring. And I said, okay, we'll try that. We made the most traditional documentary you can imagine, but it was that sort of jump from the idea that special effects are interesting because of the flash and bang. Why are documentaries having such a bad rep being boring? And so I would focus on that and try to make them not boring by working harder on the storytelling, working harder on the cutting, working harder on the sound design, image systems, how the look and feel and experience of watching a documentary through the character-driven narrative to try to elevate the interest level, and it seems to have worked. I mean, FRONTLINE's won about just about every award there is, and I've been helped to make. I've helped a bunch of them.
Fantastic. And then
Can
I
you
also
close up on that? No, that's good. All right. Okay.
and then I also heard you speak about the 3 C's. What are those again?
Okay, yeah, so a real important part of FRONTLINE sort of work, a FRONTLINE documentary, is character, conflict, and change. All story, even in Hollywood, all have those 3 elements in common. There's always going to be a character, a protagonist that you follow and fall in love with and keep in contact, that you identify with, whether that character could be anything from the film March of the Penguins, which was a whole slew of penguins, or it could be a Toy Story, which is an animated car. That's the character. The conflict is in every story, but especially in documentary, it's how that character moves through life, hits a conflict, and then how he resolves that conflict. And and the third thing is he has to change, or the protagonist has to change to succeed.
This is why we're live, folks.
Yeah, so anyway, the protagonist has to succeed to do that, and to succeed in a character conflict, he has to change. And so that's why the 3 elements of any story, but especially in documentary, are character, conflict, and change. And then the other thing is that it's impossible to make a documentary that says everything about all the subject matter of your film, no matter what your film is about. You know, March of the Penguins, or a political documentary at FRONTLINE, or whatever. The film is going to always leave stuff out because it can only be so long. So what we try to do is attach that story to a character in the character conflict change model and try to say, let's watch that character go through this story, through his veil of tears as he approaches the conflicts in the bigger picture, and we learn about the bigger picture through his eyes, his or her eyes. So it's really it's a good formula for young documentarians to kind of pick up, and it's been very successful at FRONTLINE.
You are awesome. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy Avid Connect.
I really am so far. It's absolutely fantastic. It's been a couple of years because I usually have a film that airs right around now, and I was so happy I didn't. I was able to come here and meet all my old friends again and talk to everybody at Avid, and also all these great supporters on this hallway down behind me of all the people who are sitting here kind of helping making this happen. It was a great session. The general session today, listening to Jeff, was really good. It's really been a very positive experience for everybody, but definitely for me too.
Thank you so much, Steve. We appreciate it. All right.